Karyn Parsons, of course, played Hilary Banks in The Fresh Prince. Joins me now. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. It's
Gosh, you haven't changed. You look fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you.
You really do. That show was trailblazing, wasn't it? I don't think we realised it at the time.
No, we
really
definitely didn't. We were just having a lot of fun. We were very much like a family, and it still feels like family. So when we see each other,
that's a great picture.
That is a great picture.
That's fantastic.
So it is like, you know, picking up where we left off when we see each other.
And you know, inevitably, what I'm going to ask you, everybody says, please, can we have a reunion? Do you know what? Do you think everybody's kind of doing their own thing? It would be hard.
I know. Well, for us, you know, with the loss of James Avery,
of course,
it changed the whole picture completely.
I understand.
I mean, I don't think that it really. I honestly don't think it would have happened anyway. I can't say for sure, but with James gone, it just seems impossible.
Just doesn't seem right. And it's of its time, and it was hugely successful. And we look back. It gets rerun everywhere.
Well, that's the thing.
All over the world.
Enjoying it, so
all over the world. Now, look, tell me about this book, How High the Moon.
Yes.
Because obviously you're a filmmaker. I know that you do, you know, obviously still acting. You do all kinds of things. But this is a new venture for you, isn't it?
It is. It is. This is my first novel, and it's. I wanted to see a little bit of what it was like for my mother growing up in the Jim Crow South of the 1940s. Yeah. She grew up in South Carolina. I kind of wanted to see a little bit of what her childhood was like, because she always said it was so happy.
Right.
And I thought, but you grew up in segregated South as a black woman, a black girl. You know, how is that so? And so I wanted to kind of combine my upbringing as an 11-year-old girl with hers, and put myself there as a biracial girl and see a little bit what it may have been like, a little bit, walk in her shoes.
When I was reading it, it's very cinematic. I mean, I'm sure you didn't write it like that. You wrote it as a novel.
Yeah.
But it could so easily be a TV show or indeed a film.
Yeah, I think it could.
No, very much so. And actually, these kind of stories, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? Storytelling.
Yes.
These kind of stories are so relevant, perhaps even more relevant now than even were back then.
Yeah, I think, I mean, a lot of the stuff, I think when I was writing it, probably, because there is a whole part about George Stinney, who was a friend of Ella's, the main character, who was convicted of killing two girls, wrongly convicted of killing two little girls, and all that goes on with that in the South, and that whole element of it, and that's based on a true story of George Stinney. But it's I think when I was writing it at the time, there were a lot of kind of really horrible things in the news on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely.
So I know that was definitely affecting the writing of it. And so, yeah, it is still very relevant.
Do you think we're getting better? Are you optimistic?
I am optimistic.
When you see at the Oscars, it was a lot more diverse than it used to be.
Yeah, and we had the whole Oscars So White just a few years ago, and I think by sounding that bell, people listened and paid attention, and so I've seen a lot of opportunities start to open up where there's a lot more, you know, diversity and inclusion, you know, and lots of different companies, they're opening this up, this kind of awareness, and I think that's making a difference more and more. And by saying, you know, the Oscars So White thing, we see the very big difference in this past Oscars. So I think that, you know, it might take a while, but people are chipping at it, and people are sounding off about the things that they're unhappy with, the injustices and imbalance. And so I think we're going to see more and more change.
I hope so. I hope so. Because diversity can't just be tokenism, can it?
No.
You know, it actually has to make sense, and it has to be right.